This book was first released 75 years ago, but it still feels uncomfortably relevant to how we live today. I thought this book would help me think less. Instead, it made me realise just how much I overthink everything. This is The Wisdom of Insecurity by Alan Watts. First published in 1951, it's much older than the books I've been reading recently. I picked it up as a follow-up to Don't Believe Everything You Think, which I reviewed last month. That book introduced the idea. This one feels like the next step, deeper and more philosophical. Given its age, this isn't the easiest book to read. The writing style is dense, the sentences are longer, and compared to modern books, it takes more effort to follow. It also moves away from what most self-help books try to do now: systems, optimization, productivity. Instead, this book asks something much more difficult: to think less about what you're doing. But there were a few moments in this book that genuinely surprised me. Some of the ideas feel incredibly modern. Here are 3 quotes that really stood out. Our age is one of frustration, anxiety, agitation, and addiction to dope. We crave distraction, a panorama of sights, sounds, thrills, crowded into the shortest possible time. The perfect subject continuously itches his ears with the radio. His eyes flit without rest, from television screen to newspaper to magazine. Mental activities of this kind can now be done far more efficiently by machines. The human brain may become obsolete for logical calculation. It's hard not to hear that and think about social media, constant scrolling, and AI. In a strange way, it's quite comforting, because it suggests that these problems aren't new, and maybe neither are we. The part of the book that stayed with me the most was how it describes our relationship with the present. Watts suggests we're constantly sacrificing it, either by analysing what we're doing or planning what comes next. The problem is, the future always becomes the present, and when it finally arrives, we're not there for it. We're constantly thinking about the next thing. So we end up stuck in this loop. Anticipation, arrival, absence. One idea I found really useful was this idea of being absorbed. When you're fully absorbed in something, you're not analysing it. You're not thinking about how it feels. You're just doing it. For me, that happens in conversations, making music, writing, anything creative. And interestingly, those are the moments where overthinking disappears. Right at the beginning of the book, Watts briefly mentions something called the law of reversed effort. The idea that trying too hard often makes things worse. It's something I've definitely noticed in my own life, that things tend to improve when I stop forcing them. I just wish the book explored this idea in more depth. The beginning and ending of the book focus quite heavily on religion, particularly Judeo-Christian ideas. That part didn't land for me personally, but I can see how it might be valuable depending on your perspective. Overall, this isn't a book that gives you answers. In fact, it's quite clear there aren't any. There's a lot in life we can't control or plan for. And maybe that's the point. Because instead of trying to fix everything or optimize every moment, this book suggests something much simpler. Stop overthinking, stop trying to control everything, and just be there for what's happening. It's definitely not an easy read, but it might be a worthwhile one.